Hi, everybody. I get a lot of questions about the course navigation bar or course navigation options, I guess, if you will, in Canvas. So I'm in my US history course here on my screen, and you can see sort of my setup, if you will. This set of blue links here is what we call course navigation. So when I use the phrase course navigation in Canvas speak, that is all these options right here. So the question really is, what do we need, right? And I think that there's a little bit of a case to be made for uh, keep it minimal, as long as within your agenda you have linked to assignments, announcements, quizzes, etc. They don't also need to be here in the course navigation. You're kind of giving a lot of entry points for students, which could be confusing. Again, you could also make a case for having them there 100%, but sort of that's my thinking. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Like if I go to, you can see here, the ones that are visible to me are home, syllabus, lockdown browser, discussions, rubrics, and item banks. That's it. Everything else has been hidden. Lockdown browser, rubrics, and item banks are only teacher visible items. So really all students could see is home, which is modules, syllabus, and discussions. And if I go to view as a student up there in that top right corner, you can see that's all that is visible to them. Let me get out of student view here. All right. Now, discussions too, I think I'm kind of new to discussions and I want to use it more with my US history kids this year. And so it's one I eventually may hide if I find that linking it within the agenda is sufficient. I just don't know that yet. So that's why that's out there for me. Um, Another one I'll see people have out often is announcements. If you use your announcements feature in Canvas, that is another one that can, I think, be helpful to keep in the course navigation bar. And that's kind of it on that idea. What I would add to it, though, is if you're not seeing something and you think you should be able to, then you need to make sure that it's visible. So, for example, with Lockdown Browser or rubrics or item banks, to make it useful, you need to make it visible. Well, how do you do that? So all of this is managed through settings. So if I come down here and I click on settings, and then over here to navigation, this is where I can drag and drop items within the two different groupings on this page to either make them visible, which is this top section, or hidden, which is this bottom section. So if you're not seeing, for example, lockdown browser, it's probably because it's down here in this hidden section and you need to grab a hold of it and drag it and put it up here in this top section. Remember, that won't ever be visible to students, but you need to get it there so you can see it. Same, I find like I like having rubrics up there because I use rubrics a lot, and I like having item banks up there because I use my item banks a lot when I'm making quizzes for the potential to share it with my colleagues in US history. So that's kind of it on that. Hopefully that is helpful to you in helping to set up your navigation bar.